afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to FRAN Stadium here in Richland, Washington for Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators live stream football here on YouTube. I'm Evan Burton, your color commentator, and believe it or not, this is my third time in my career that I'm doing some color commentating live stream. Right now, so far this season, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators had 2 wins and 3 losses overall. Their last week's game traveling down the road has been canceled, but nevertheless, we are now back in FRAN Stadium here in the month of October, and good thing the weather is getting cooled down a little bit while the rain has been happening here earlier today. So far, it's been pretty clear and pretty nice right now here at this point. Today, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators will be playing against a newcomer to our conference, and that is the Utah Islanders. So we'll see how this game goes, of how Pacific Northwest Christian is going to be put to the test regardless of tonight's football game right here at FRAN Stadium. So far, things has been pretty nice and clear at this moment, and we're about ready to get underway with the kickoff. The Islanders won the toss, and they will receive at this point here. And so here we go. Getting ready to get this game underway here at FRAN Stadium. Okay, so number 1, Blake Spear will be kicking it off, and here we go. We are underway, starting with quarter number 1 here at FRAN Stadium, and the Utah Islanders now has the ball. On the kickoff return for the Utah Islanders is number 6, Zach Vaughn, who gets tackled down at about the 32-yard line after a nearly 15-yard. Pacific Northwest Christian on a 3-4 defense, and he hands it off once again to his running back, Keandre Polanco, who gets across the 40, and he may have it up for a first down, and he does. After an 8-yard gain on the play, and that brings up 1st and 10 for the Islanders here in the first quarter here. So at this point on the defense for the Gladiators, and out of the 3-4 defense, while the Islanders, once again out of the shotgun with 2 receivers on the right and 1 on the left. And there's some movement before the snap, and the first penalty flag is down here in this game. And it'll be a false start. Calls against the Utah Islanders, a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. So with that being said, the ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 15 for Utah. And the clock winds down to about 13 minutes and 30 seconds with 0-0 here in the first quarter. And here we go. On the 3rd play of the drive, out of the snap, he fakes the handoff and he keeps it. American Jackson, the quarterback, on the quarterback keeper. He gets stopped for no gain on the play. Tyler Lynch, number 95, who made the tackle for the Gladiators, and the ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line. Probably a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards on the play. It is now 2nd and 13 for the Islanders. right now, a 4-3 defense for the Gladiators, while the Islanders with two running backs in between the quarterback from the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He hands it off to his running back and gets brought down for a loss of 2. That was number 45, Arnie Arvello, the linebacker out of Brewster, Washington, who made the defensive coverage. A loss of 2 on the play, and the ball will be placed at the 39-yard line, and that brings up 3rd down for the Islanders. So it's 3rd and 14 right now from the 39-yard line. Once again, the Gladiators on defense, a 3-4, while the secondary is back near midfield, while the other two are at midfield. Okay, here's the next offensive play for the Islanders. Here's the snap out of the shotgun. Oh, down at the 30-yard line, and that is Tyler Lynch, the defensive line with the sack. Brought down at the 30-yard line, and that is a loss of 9 on the play. Unbelievable defense on the part of the Gladiators. And right now, it is 4th down, and the Islanders are going to have to punt. Here's the snap and the kick. And it is rolling down to about the 30-yard line, and it'll stop from there. So the Gladiators will start on their first drive here in possession, here in the first quarter.
No return on the 38-yard punt. First down, Gladiators.
So the quarterback for the Gladiators here on this drive is number 13, Keegan Bishop. As they're getting ready to start their first formation here on this drive. Okay, with one receiver on the left, 2 receivers on the right, and 1 running back standing next to him. Okay, here we go, out of the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He's coming out to pass, pressure coming, a ball fumbles, and it is caught by the Islanders, number 18, Kaliantani Lamau, caught the fumble and ran all the way in for the touchdown from inside the red zone, and the Utah Islanders scored their first points here in the first quarter. Wow, talk about an unbelievable defense by the Islanders. After Keegan Bishop has felt the pressure and couldn't be able to throw the ball away. So we got ourselves a first defensive touchdown first here in the first quarter. And they're getting ready for the extra point. There's the kick. And the extra point is good. And with 10 minutes, 51 seconds here in the first quarter, as Utah leads Pacific Northwest Christian 7-0. Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators football likes to thank you to some of our sponsors for showing great support of Pacific Northwest Christian, not just the football team, but also the entire college. The presenters are Pasco Machine, along with Brucci's Cheese Steaks and Subs, Coca-Cola, High Street Insurance Financial Services, Central Industrial Sales, Fowler General Construction, State Farm Insurance, featuring Craig J. Griffiths, the agent, and by Ranch and Home. And here we go with the second possession here as the Utah Islanders are getting ready to start kicking off. It is now 7-0 with 10:51 here in the first quarter here at FRAN Stadium. And let's see how the Gladiators, to see if they can rebound back and make it a good scoring ball game. Number 47, Taylor Anderson, will be kicking it off for the Utah Islanders. And there's the kickoff. And on the kickoff return, gets down to the 30 to about the 32-yard line. That is Blake Spear, number 1, out of Mount Spokane High School in Spokane, Washington. After a 20-yard kickoff return, it gets brought down to about the 32-yard line, and on their second possession, the Gladiators will start from there. After one little error from their first drive, here come the Gladiators starting on their second drive. Okay, we got two running backs down in the backfield. Okay, here's the snap. And carrying the ball for the Gladiators, that is number 8, Mario D'Orazio, who gets brought down for no gain on the play. Loss of a couple yards, though. And on the defense, that is Polian Natoni Lamau, the linebacker, who made the stop. Loss of 2 yards on the play, and that brings up second down and 12 yards to go, with the ball spotted at the 30-yard line. And right now, number 3, Jaden Saley, will be at quarterback for the Gladiators. Out of the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Feeling pressure. Saley running, keeping the ball, crossing the 30, 35, to the 40, and he goes out of bounds. So he went out of bounds precisely at the 40-yard line, and maybe not enough for a first down. That's approximately an 8-yard gain on the play, and that brings up second down, 8 yards to go. The ball is spotted at the 40-yard line. I stand corrected. We are now on third down, obviously. 3rd and 2 from the 40-yard line.
So we use a 10-yard
Here we go. Once again, Jaden Saley at quarterback. Out with a shotgun formation with one receiver kneeling in motion. And he hands it out to the running back. That is number 26, Abdul Gilbert, the ball carrier, who gets a 3-yard gain, and that's good enough for a first down. The first down of the drive here in the first quarter for the Gladiators. So from the 44-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Gladiators. With Jaden Saley at quarterback and Abdul Gilbert, the running back, out in the backfield. Okay, with 2 receivers on the left, and we got 1 receiver running in motion. And he hands it off to number 6, who fumbles the ball, but he recovers it. And that's probably a 5, maybe a 6-yard loss. We have 2 number 6s, according to the roster I'm carrying, but I'm going to have to take a wild guess, though. That'll be Kyle Brown, number 6, from Kent, Washington, who made the carry. So right now it is second down and 16 yards to go, with the ball spotted at the 38-yard line. 8:15 left on the clock here in the first quarter. Here we go. Saley takes the snap out of the shotgun, passes it over. Abdul Carter with a reception, and gets brought down to the 42-yard line. Number 13, Matthew Torgensen, the defensive back, who made the tackle, though. And that's like a gain of 4 on the play. So with 3rd down and 12 yards to go, with the ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Okay, we got 2 receivers on the right side, 1 on the left, and a running back in the backfield. And he's standing right next to Jaden Saley out of the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Passes it out, ricochets up in the air, and it's intercepted. It is intercepted by number 13, Matthew Torgensen, who gets brought down across midfield inside Gladiators territory. But there is a flag on the play. And we'll see what the penalty is. That flag is located at about the 35-yard line, which is about 5.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And we will check and see what the penalty is. It's probably during the play, but let's see what the penalty is.
After the interception, personal foul. Return team, 15 yards from the end of the run.
So the penalty penalty is against the Islanders. So that's 2 turnovers here in the first quarter, regardless of this game. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty. And the ball will be backing away. It is inside Islander territory. And it'll be placed at about the 36-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Utah Islanders, with 7:18 left here in the first quarter. Okay, once again, number 15, Omarion Jackson at quarterback, standing at the 30-yard line. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it over to the running back. Breaks a couple tackles, ran to the side. That is Keandre Polanco, the running back, who goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line, but there is a flag on the play, and that is on the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the 26-yard line. So from the 26-yard line on 1st down and 20 yards to go. Okay, clock's now running. We now have 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Okay, so we got 2 receivers on the right, also on the left, and a 3-4 defense for the Gladiators. Here's the snap, out to pass, completes it, and it is caught by number 2, DeAndre Randolph. So a 2-yard gain on the play. That brings up 2nd down and 18 yards to go for the Islanders. And the ball we spotted at the 29-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down. So far, the skies is looking pretty good here, ladies and gentlemen, but we might have more chance of rain either later today or later this weekend. But we'll see how that's going. But it's pretty nice and gorgeous right now at this point. Okay. Next play for the Islanders. Once again, out of the shotgun formation with 1 receiver wide to the right. Here's the snap. He's out to pass and incomplete. Intended for number 17 for the Islanders, in which I don't see his name on the roster anyway. But during the pass, it was nearly intercepted by the Gladiators defense. And now it winds down to 3rd down from the 29-yard line. Okay, on the next play possession here on 3rd down for Utah. Once again, Omarion Jackson at quarterback, out of the shotgun formation, with his running back standing next to him. Here's the snap. He's out to pass. And it's nearly intercepted, but incomplete. That was number 1, Keandre Polanco, the intended receiver. And right now it is 4th down, 3 and out for the Islanders. And they're getting ready to punt. Number 5, Damari Ross, is out to return for the Gladiators. Here's the snap, and the kick is up. Okay, across midfield, crossing the 40, 35, and gets stopped at about the 33-yard line, and the Gladiators will start from there on their 3rd offensive possession on this drive. Right now with 5:41 left here in the first quarter, Utah leads 7-0. Okay, once again, Jaden Saley at quarterback. Out of the shotgun formation with 2 receivers on each side. Here's the snap. He hands it off to Abdul Carter, who gets nothing. Gets brought down at the 30-yard line. And that was number 14, Tema Ita, with the tackle for the Islanders. A loss of 2 on the play, and that brings up 2nd and 12. And from the 31-yard line on 2nd down, clock winds down to 5:15 here in the first quarter. Okay. Once again, Saley out of the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Hands it off once again to Abdul Carter, who's got some room to run. Gets across the 40 and gets brought down to about the 43-yard line. That's about 11 yards on the play and on the defense for the Islanders. Number 6, Zach Vaughn, who made the tackle. So it is 3rd down and 1 yard to go from about the 42-yard line. Here's the snap, and they're going to try a quarterback sneak, and apparently they didn't move forward, obviously. So no gain on the play, and that brings up 4th down for the Gladiators. So will they go for it, or are they going to punt? And apparently it looks like they're going for it. Okay, here we go, 4th and 1, with the ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Out of the shotgun formation with 3 other players in the backfield. Here's the handoff. He hands it off to Carter, and he gets down to about the 44-yard line. I stand corrected on the running back's last name. It's Gilbert, not Carter. Gilbert, Abdul Gilbert. My apologies for that. Nevertheless, it is 1st down for the Gladiators after a 1-yard gain. Now with a fresh set of downs near the 45-yard line. Let's see on the next play from here. Once again, he hands it off to Abdul Gilbert, who runs up the middle, gets across the 45, and gets brought down to about the 46-yard line. And we have a flag down right after the play was ended, and we will check the penalty.
Personal foul, face mask, number 18 of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So that brings a good field position for the Gladiators across midfield inside Utah Islanders territory. So the ball will be spotted precisely at the 39-yard line. And let's see if the Gladiators can rebound and start scoring from here after trailing 7-0. Here's the snap, out to pass. It is caught by number 8, Mario D'Orazzo. And there's no gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd down at the line of scrimmage. Right now we're 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Jaden Saley at quarterback with Abdul Gilbert in the backfield. And once again a shotgun formation with 2 receivers on each side. Here's the snap. Hands it off to Gilbert. He runs across the 40 and gets brought down to about the 38-yard line. So after a 2-yard gain, and that brings up 3rd and 10 for the Gladiators. And right now we're under 2 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. There. Okay, Saley once again out of the shotgun formation with 1 receiver on the right and 3 receivers on the left. Here's a snap, out to pass. And it is overthrown and incomplete. That is intended for Damari Ross, the intended receiver, number 5 for the Gladiators. And that brings up 4th down to see if they can go forward or go for a short punt. We will see what are they going to do next. Okay, we got one receiver on each side here. And a tight end from inside the pocket. And we have a penalty flag on the play.
First start, offense, number 56. 5-yard penalty, step down.
So it'll be 4th and 15 from the 44-yard line. And apparently they're changing possessions and they are going to punt. Okay. On the return for the Islanders, on the punt return, number 1, Keandre Polanco. Okay, here's the snap. Kick is up. And Polanco catches it, and after a 2-yard return, he gets brought down by number 16, Kyle Miller, who is on the special teams coverage. Kyle Miller from Post Falls, Idaho, who made a nice hustle on the defense and brought him down after a 2-yard punt return.
Pick up your 2025 Gladiators flag. All down by the front of FRAN RISH Stadium.
So the Utah Islanders will start the ball from inside their own red zone at about the 16-yard line, and they'll start from there. Marion Jackson, number 15, at quarterback for the Islanders, out of the shotgun, takes a snap, and he keeps it by himself. Gets across the 20 and gets brought down at about the 22-yard line. Anthony Zabrano, the linebacker, who made the defense. And we have an injury timeout by the officials. Apparently, that was number 2, Toby Fry, the defensive back, who is down at about the 22-yard line. So while the injury timeout is in progress, we're going to take a short break. Stay with us with more Gladiators football. We'll be right back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, after a short injury timeout. Toby Fry, number 2, is carrying down to the sideline. Okay. Right now it is 2nd down and 3 yards to go, with the ball spotted at the 23-yard line. And right now the clock grinds down to about 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Here's a snap. And the pass is complete. It is caught by number 16, Kenyon Jackson. And after a 4-yard gain on the play, that brings up 1st and 10 for the Islanders, with the ball spotted at the 28. Jackson at quarterback from the shotgun formation. A 3-4 defense on the Gladiator side. Here's the snap. Pass complete to number 17, his intended receiver. Even though I couldn't see his name on the roster though, but the pass is complete on the play. Getting across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. And that is a gain of 4 on the play, and that brings up 2nd down and 6 yards to go. And that brings the end of the first quarter here on Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators live stream on YouTube. With the score, the Utah Islanders 7 and the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 0. Gladiators football is presented by these sponsors: Peak Power LLC, the Tri-City Cleaners and Laundromat, the Korean Presbyterian Church, the Atomic Shirt Company, Campbell and Company, Mustang Signs, Carpenter Wrenches, along with Smile a Mile Painting, followed by Northwest CPA Group, the Three Rivers Physical Therapy, Superior Glass, and Country Financial. Also to check out the rest of the schedule here for this season, next week the Gladiators will be traveling to St. George, Utah to take on the St. George Eagles. And 2 weeks after that, on the first Sunday of November, they'll be traveling to Spokane to take on Whitworth University. So check out these dates on Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators Football.com. Click on athletics and then men's football, and you'll see all the information. It is now the beginning of the second quarter, with a fresh clock at 15 minutes about to start. It is now 2nd and 6 for the Islanders at the 32-yard line. Here's a snap. Quarterback out to pass, and nearly intercepted on the play. Ronan Alvarado, number 52, he locates it, but is unable to reach over and catch the interception, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
With 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, the Oregon Ducks have now tied Indiana at point.
3rd and 6 from the 32-yard line. And on the next play for the Islanders, a shotgun formation with one receiver on the right and 2 receivers on the left, with the running back standing next to him. Here's a snap. He's out to pass. And he gets brought down to the 20-yard line. On the defense, that is Jacob Fittig, the defensive tackle who made the sack. And that is 2 sacks here in the first half at FRAN Stadium. So it'll be 4th down and 12 yards to go from the 25-yard line after a 7-yard sack. And apparently the Islanders are going to have to punt. Okay, there's the snap. And he's going to run it, but he kicks it anyway. And the ball is caught by number 5, Damari Ross, and there's a flag down probably right after the play was ended. He gets tackled down at about the 35-yard line. And we'll see what the penalty is. It is right after the play is ended when the flag is down.
Catch interference, kicking team, 15 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
So apparently, Damari Ross has signaled a fair catch, and after being brought down for the fair catch interference, the 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul is probably going to give the Gladiators good field position. And right now, they are inside Islanders territory at about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 with 14:02 here in the second quarter. Okay, Keegan Bishop is his turn, number 13 at quarterback. He takes a snap, throws it in, and it's incomplete. It was a little too short and being deflected away. That was intended for Mario Durazo, the intended receiver for the Gladiators. And that brings up 2nd and 10. Okay, with the running back in the backfield, one receiver to the right, one receiver to the left, and then he hands it off to Abdul Gilbert, who runs up the middle, and apparently he may have gained a yard on the play, but a pretty short run, and that brings up 3rd down and 9. Okay, so with 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver on the left, and 1 running back in the backfield standing next. Here's the snap. Feeling pressured. Oh, and he gets brought down. Not too sure if it's a sack or not. He must have threw it forward. And apparently the result is incomplete. It was intended for Abdul Gilbert, the running back, who is now in a receiving position. And that brings up 4th down after a 3 and out. And the Gladiators are going to punt with 13-10 here in the second quarter. After a 3 and out, the Gladiators are going to punt. Here's the snap and the kick. Rolls down to the 20 and stops at about the 17-yard line. And the Islanders will go from there. We're going to take a short break. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Once again, Amarian Jackson at quarterback, standing out of the shotgun formation. 2 receivers on the left and 1 wide to the right. And a 3-4 defense for the Gladiators. And he hands it off to the running back, who's running up the middle. That was Amini Amoni, number 27, who carries the ball and runs up the middle for a gain of 6 on the play, and that brings up 2nd and 4.
Check that, gain of 6. 2nd down and 4. Island.
Okay, 2nd and 4 from the 23-yard line. 12:30 left here in the second quarter. Okay, once again, Jackson at quarterback out of the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Once again, he hands it over to the running back. And he gets brought down after a gain of 3 on the play. Once again, that is Amoni, the running back. And there is a flag on the play.
Offense number 65. Taking out from the previous spot.
So apparently it'll be 2nd and 14 for the Islanders from inside their own red zone. And it'll be placed at the 13-yard line. Okay, and the clock is winding down to 12 minutes here in the second quarter. Okay, right now there's 3 receivers on the left and 1 receiver on the right. And Amini Amoni is at running back, standing near the backfield. Here's a snap, throws a pass, completes it. And it is caught by number 1, Keandre Polanco, who made the reception. He may have gone out of bounds, but the clock is running down.
Jackson passed it along to the 10. 3rd down and 14. Islanders.
So after a 10-yard gain, it is 3rd down for the Islanders. Okay, here we go on the 4-3 defense for the Gladiators, and on the offensive side, 2 receivers on the right, 1 receiver wide to the right. And then he hands it out to another running back. That is number 25, Darian Summers. who gets across the 25 and gets brought down to the 30-yard line. Ronan Alvarado, the linebacker for the Gladiators, made the tackle. And that brings up 1st and 10 for the Islanders, with the ball spotted at their own 30.
First down, Islanders from the 30-yard line.
Okay, next offense, 2 receivers on the left and 2 on the right. Out of the shotgun, takes the snap, passes over to number 7, who catches the ball, and that is James Carpenter, who made the catch. Oh, excuse me, that is number 2. I'm sorry. Number 2, Dandre Randolph, who made the reception, and he gains of about 7 on the play. So it's 2nd down and 3 from the 37-yard line, and we're under 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. Okay, next offensive play, 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Here's a snap. He hands it over, breaks 1 tackle, but he doesn't break the second one as he gets brought down, and that should be a 1st down. That is Amini Amone, the running back for the Islanders, who gets a 1st down. So after a gain of 4 on the play, and that brings up 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Okay, on the defense for the Gladiators, a 3-4 front. Here's the snap. Hands it over to number 1, who is carrying the ball for the Islanders. He breaks 1 tackle and he's breaking free. He's now inside Gladiators territory. Loses the football. And it seems like the Gladiators have recovered it. Number 1, Keandre Polanco, after more than 25 yards gain on the play, he loses the football, and the Gladiators recovered between the 25 and the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, Pacific Northwest Christian from their own 27. Okay, now the Gladiators is now back on offense, and let's see how this drive can turn out. Okay, that is Keegan Bishop back at quarterback, and there's a flag down before the snap. Illegal substitution, in case you haven't heard, since the referee's mic sounds garbled a little bit. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Gladiators inside their own red zone. And I think the ball is spotted at the 19-yard line. Here we go, 1st and 15 for the Gladiators, with Keegan Bishop, number 13 at quarterback. And we got 1 receiver in motion. Here's the snap. Throws it over, completes it. Completes it to number 4, Trey Workman, who makes a reception and gets across the 20-yard line on the play.
Bishop's pass to Workman, good for 5 yards.
On the defense for the Islanders, number 40, Inyasi Matina, the linebacker. So that's a gain of 5, and the ball will be placed at the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down for the Gladiators, with 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. And we got number 4, Trey Workman at running back, out in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left, 1 on the right. 14 in motion. And he grabs the ball, and he gets caught without getting positive yardage. That is Tajay Taylor, number 14, who carries the ball and couldn't even gain after getting caught by one of the secondary players of the Islanders. That was Kolia Natoni Lamau, number 18, the linebacker who made the stop for the Islanders. Loss of 7 on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 17 from their own red zone. Okay, here come the Gladiators. Here's a snap, throws a pass, and it's intercepted at the 25-yard line. That is number 6, Zach Vaughn, who made the pick. And apparently the Islanders are in good field position. So that is about 3 turnovers that the Gladiators have committed here in the first half. And with 7 minutes and 7 seconds remaining, it is still 7-0, Utah Islanders. So from the 25-yard line, here's the Islanders' next offensive possession. Once again with O'Marion Jackson, number 15 at quarterback, out with a shotgun formation. Here's a snap. Hands it over to his running back. That is Keandre Polonco, who runs up the middle and gets stopped right before getting into the red zone. So that is a gain of 4 on the play, and that brings up 2nd down and 6 yards to go with the ball spotted at the 21-yard line. And we are under 7 minutes left to go here in this ball game. Okay, next offensive possession. We got 2 receivers from each side and 1 running back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Out to pass. He's getting pressured, and he gets sacked. Sacked for a 9-yard loss on the play. That is Gatorian Howard, the linebacker who made the sack for the Gladiators. So it'll be 3rd and 11 for the Islanders with the ball spotted at the 26-yard line with under 6 minutes left to go. Here we go with Jackson at quarterback, out in a shotgun, takes the snap, he gets pressured, still getting pressured, and he gets brought down for another sack, down to the 36-yard line. That is number 15, Gatorian Howard. That's his 2nd straight sack here this afternoon. And that will bring up 4th down for the Islanders. So a loss of 9 on the play. So it'll be 4th down and 20 yards to go. And it looks like they were going to attempt a field goal here by kicker Taylor Anderson. And this is going to be a 53-yard attempt. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It has the distance. And it is good. A 53-yard field goal made by number 47, Taylor Anderson. And with 4 minutes and 34 seconds here in the second quarter, the score is the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 0, the Utah Islanders 10.
Gladiators 10-0.
So, with the score being held like this, we're going to take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back live from FRAN Stadium here in Richland, 4:34 here in the second quarter. The Islanders lead the Gladiators 10-0. Taylor Anderson, number 47, will be kicking it off. And here we go. And it's stopped at the end zone and brought down for a touchback by Blake Spear, the kick returner.
No return. Blake Spear. 4:34 to go in the second quarter. First down, Gladiators football.
So from the 25-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gladiators to see if they can rebound and capitalize before halftime. Okay, with Jaden Saley back at quarterback now for the Gladiators. Okay, we got 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, and 1 running back here in the backfield. Trey Workman at running back. Here's a snap, out to pass, and it's incomplete. It is intended for Damari Ross, the intended receiver, in which the pass is a little bit overthrown. So from 2nd and 10 with 4:30 left here in the second quarter. And from the 35-yard line. Here's the snap. Out to pass. And once again, it is intercepted near the 45-yard line. Number 6, Zach Vaughn. That is his 2nd interception here in this ball game. 4 turnovers overall for the Gladiators here in the first half. So the ball will be placed at the 43-yard line. Okay, the next drive for the Islanders. Okay, once again, Amarian Jackson at quarterback out of the shotgun formation with 1 receiver on each side from outside the pocket. Here's the snap, hands it over to number 16 who's carrying the ball. And gains of a couple, but a flag on the play, though. That is Kenyon Jackson, number 16, the ball carrier. And the flag is down on the play. We'll check the penalty. So there is no penalty regardless. So it'll be 1st and 10. So from the 42-yard line, I stand corrected. It is 2nd down with only 9 yards to go after there's a no penalty procedure. And the clock is winding down to 4 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Oh, excuse me, the second quarter. Okay, once again, Amarian Jackson at quarterback out of the shotgun with 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Here's a snap. He's being chased, and he's about to throw it, and he does. And it is incomplete. It is intended for number 8, Giovanni Polanco, the intended receiver. And the penalty flag is down. That is right outside the 40-yard line. Let's see what the penalty is from here. So the penalty is called against the Islanders, throwing a pass after crossing the line of scrimmage. And that is a loss of down regardless of this penalty. So it'll be 3rd down for the Islanders after an illegal forward pass, throwing a pass after crossing the line of scrimmage. And right now with 3:39 left here in the fourth quarter, once again it's 3rd and 14. Once again, out of the shotgun formation with two receivers on each side. Here's Jackson out to pass. He's looking. Now he's getting pressured a little bit. Now he decides to run. He gets across midfield, breaks a tackle, gets across the 40, still on his feet, gets across the 30, and goes out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. So that is a gain of 27 yards on the play on the quarterback keeper by number 15, Amarian Jackson for the Utah Islanders, and they get a first down. So from the 27-yard line on 1st and 10 for the Islanders, and the clock winds down. 3.5 minutes remaining. So with two receivers, both on each side, with the running back in the backfield, and once again a shotgun formation. Here's a snap, hands it off to the running back. That's carried by number 27, Amini Amoni, who runs up the middle and gets brought down by a series of defensive players for the Gladiators. That was mostly by number 98, Jacob Fettig. A gain of 7 on the play, and that brings up 2nd and 3 from the 21-yard line. And we are 2.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter, and each team's got all 3 timeouts. Out of the shotgun formation with 2 receivers on each side. Here's the pass, completes it to number 1, the intended receiver who breaks a tackle. That is Keandre Polanco, the running back, who made the reception, who gets inside the red zone and gets brought down at the 10-yard line. Dom Powell, the linebacker, number 93 for the Gladiators, made the tackle. And that brings up a first down for the Islanders. And now we're winding down to the 2-minute warning. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Got plenty of snacks on hand. Also, we're going to get the 2025 Gladiators flag right down at the front of the entrance to the stadium.
We're back live with Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators football from FRAN Stadium in Richland after a 2-minute timeout. The Islanders of Utah are now inside the red zone. With 2 receivers on each side, 1 running back in the backfield, a shotgun formation. Here's a snap. He's feeling pressured and he decides to run it. No, he decides to pass instead, and it is incomplete. Intended for number 25, Darian Summers, the intended receiver, even though Amarian Jackson was behind the line of scrimmage before he starts throwing the ball instead of keeping it. So that's incomplete, and that brings up 2nd down for the Islanders with 1:54 remaining here in the second quarter. Right now on this next play, 2 receivers on the left, 1 receiver on the right, and a couple of running backs in the backfield. Here's the snap, and he hands it over to number 27, Amini Amoni, who runs up the middle and gains a couple.
Amoni with a 3-yard gain. 3rd down and 7.
On the defense, Anthony Zabrano, the linebacker for the Gladiators, who made the tackle. A gain of 1 on the play, and that brings out third down and 9 from the 10-yard line. And the clock is winding down to 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, and both teams each had 3 timeouts. Okay, with 1 receiver on the right, 2 receivers on the left. First time here today, here in this ball game, a timeout has been called, this time by the Utah Islanders. So with 1:05 remaining here in the second quarter, it is still 10-0. Utah Islanders leading Pacific Northwest Christian. So third down from the 10-yard line. So after completing the first timeout, Utah has 2 remaining, while Pacific Northwest Christian has all 3 of the fresh timeouts. Here we go, 3rd and 9 from the 10-yard line. Jackson at quarterback out of the shotgun. Here's a snap, goes a pass, and it's incomplete. Nice breakaway by number 6. That is Xavier Garms-Hurix, number 6, who made the defense for the Gladiators. And that brings up 4th down from the 10-yard line with 1 minute and a second remaining here in the second quarter. So we got 1 receiver on the left. So on 4th down on this play, here's a snap. He's out to pass, throws it up in the middle, and it's incomplete. It is intended for number 2, Dendre Randolph, and the ball will be turned over on downs. So with under a minute left to go, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line, and see if Pacific Northwest Christian can capitalize. So on this drive right here, we got Jaden Saley, number 3 at quarterback. Okay, we got 1 receiver on the right and 2 backs in the backfield. 1 receiver in motion. And he hands it off to number 8, Mario Durazo. It gets brought down on the play by number 40, Inasi Matina. So a loss of 1 on the play, and that brings up 2nd and 11 from the 9-yard line. And 30 seconds is winding down, even though they got 3 fresh timeouts left. Now 20 seconds remaining. Here's the snap. Out to pass, throwing it deep, and it's incomplete. That is intended for number 12. Victor Eicher, the intended receiver for the Gladiators. And that brings up 3rd and 11 with 13.6 remaining here in the second quarter. Here's the snap. And he hands it over to Abdul Gilbert, the running back, who gets across the 15 to about the 16-yard line. apparently the Utah Islanders are going to take their second timeout with 7 seconds even here in the second quarter. So with 4th down and 4 after a 7-yard gain by number 26, Abdul Gilbert, it appears to be that the Gladiators are going to have to punt. And with 7 seconds remaining, it seems like they haven't been capitalized yet here in the first half. Here's a snap, low snap, he picks it up, he starts running it, now he's kicking it. Not a good kick, but at least the ball is rolling forward and stops at about the 41-yard line. And that is the end of the second quarter. With the score, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 0 and the Utah Islanders 10. So we are now down to halftime here at FRAN Stadium for a 20-minute halftime. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break during halftime, but don't go away while watching the second half here in this ball game. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, stay with us from FRAN Stadium. We'll be right back after this halftime. 10-0. And ladies and gentlemen, for the rest of the football schedule for some of October and one in November, next Saturday, October 18th at 1 o'clock, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators will be traveling to St. George to take on the St. George Eagles. October 27th, that's a Monday, they'll be traveling to Tacoma as they take on Pacific Lutheran University. And the final game of the season, November 2nd, and that's a Sunday at 1 p.m., they'll be traveling to Spokane to take on Whitworth University. So, with that being said, we're now beginning the start of the second half with the start of the third quarter of this afternoon's football game. And apparently, number 47, Taylor Anderson, will be kicking it off for the Islanders. And here we go. Second half is about to start. There's a rolling onside kick, and it's taken away by Pacific Northwest Christian, who is about to put their first points on the board. That is Caleb Jones, the wide receiver, who quickly picks up the onside kick and ran 38 yards to put the first points on the board. My goodness, what a play that turns out for number 0, Caleb Jones. Unbelievable. So it looks like there might be some light left in them for the Gladiators as they're about ready to capitalize after a quick early score here in the first half. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Blake Spear, the wide receiver, getting ready to put the extra point in. There's the snap, the kick, and it is good. And with 14:54 here in the third quarter, Pacific Northwest Christian is now on the board. They got 7 points right now, while the Utah Islanders has 10. So it's a 3-point deficit regardless of this ball game here. Here we go, 14:54 here in the third quarter, and it's a 10-7 Utah lead. And right now, Pacific Northwest Christian is getting ready to kick off. Not too sure if 6 seconds is the new record for a quick touchdown after a kickoff at the start of the quarter, but it has to be in here. Okay, here we go, Blake Spear kicking it off for the Gladiators. And the ball falls down, and I think that's probably because of a light wind that pushed the football down. So they're going to have to reset the football, and good thing he's holding it without the ball falling it off. Here we go, kickoff underway, but the officials whistled. I don't see no flags down, but they probably start the kickoff a little bit early. So right now there is no penalty, so they're going to have to redo the kick. There is no false start regarding the kick. Okay, and the ball keeps falling it off from the 35-yard line. And it looks like he's about to hold the ball once again, probably due to the light wind. And here we go. Kicking it off, straight up the middle. Oh, almost a fumble, but it is picked up by the Islanders. And that is number 6 on the kickoff return. It gets brought down to the 38-yard line. That is Zach Vaughn, the wide receiver, on the kickoff return for the Islanders. And Utah will start their first possession from there here in the second half. 14:48 here in the third quarter. Okay, here we go. with one receiver on the right, another one on the left from outside the pocket. Here's a snap. He hands it off to the running back. He runs up the middle and gets brought down at midfield for a 12-yard gain on the play, and that could be a first down for the Islanders. Keandre Polanco, the running back, has made the 12-yard gain and gets stopped at midfield. Number 6, Xavier Hirix with the tackle. And after a 12-yard gain, it is 1st and 10 for the Islanders. Okay, clock winds down to 14 minutes and still running. Here's a snap. Hands it off once again to Keandre Polanco, the running back, who runs up the middle and gains of about 4 on the play and gets inside Gladiator territory. Number 45, Arnie Arivelo, and number 95, Tyler Lynch, who made the tackle for the Gladiators.
Okay, with a 5-yard carry. Second down and 5, Islanders.
It is 2nd down and 6 from the 46-yard line with under 14 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Okay, so we got 2 receivers wide, and here is the shotgun formation. Takes a snap, hands it over to the running back, and he gets stopped for no gain on the play. Number 27, Amini Amoni, who gets stopped at the line of scrimmage. Jacob Fede, who made the defense for the Gladiators. And that brings up 3rd down with the ball nearly spotted at the 45-yard line. Okay, so we got 2 receivers, 1 on each side, and 1 running back standing in midfield out of the shotgun formation with Amarian Jackson at quarterback. He fakes it, passes it off, and gets it completed. But a penalty flag is on the play, though. The pass is caught by number 14, Tema Ida, and a flag is down. We will check the penalty. Once again, it'll be 3rd down for the Islanders. After an offensive pass interference on the play, the ball will be back inside Islander territory. So from the 40-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 19 yards to go from the 40-yard line. And the clock winds down to 12.5 minutes. Okay, so we got 2 receivers wide, 2 in the pocket, and 1 running back in the backfield. Here's a snap. Hands it over to the running back. Number 27, the ball carrier, who gains of about 5 yards on the play and goes out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. That is Amini Amoni, number 27, the ball carrier, who gets stopped by Jacob Fede, number 98, who made the defense. And that brings up 4th down and approximately 13 yards to go. And the ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line. And it looks like the Islanders are going to punt. And we got Damari Ross, number 5, on the return, standing at about the 25-yard line. Here's a snap. And the punt, almost blocked, but the kick is up in the air. Fair catch signal. And the ball is stopped at about the 35-yard line with 11 minutes and 25 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. And Pacific Northwest Christian will start from there after a surprising touchdown after picking up an onside kick. So, 1st down, 10 yards to go from the 35-yard line. Once again, that is Jaden Saley, the quarterback. Okay, we got 1 receiver on the right, 2 receivers on the left, And one receiver running in motion. And he hands it off to Abdul Gilbert, who gets nothing. He gets stopped after a 2-yard loss. Number 14, Tema Ida, who makes the tackle for the Islanders. So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 32-yard line. 11 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Okay, once again, Saley out of the shotgun. Okay. And we have a flag on the play before the snap.
Snap infraction. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty.
So it'll be 2nd down and 17 yards to go after that penalty. And the clock winds down to 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so we got one receiver on the left, 2 receivers on the right. Plus a running back in the backfield. And once again, before the snap of the ball, came a penalty flag on the play. And we will check in penalty and see what that is. A little extracurricular activity going on, but nothing personal between the wide receiver and the defensive back. Now let's check the penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 19. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So once again, it is 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now, if they get 3 straight false starts, whether or not if the rule is right, that will probably be a loss of a down. And right now, the clock winds down to a little over 10 minutes here. So from the 23-yard line, Saley out in the shotgun, 1 receiver in motion. And once again, he hands over to Abdul Gilbert, who runs in the middle and gets brought down for a loss of 1. And that brings up 3rd down for the Gladiators. And we have an injury timeout on the field. So with this timeout right here, we're going to take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Pacific Northwest Christian College. Their first timeout of the half. Gee, that looks like the running back. Mm, 26. We're back live from FRAN Stadium, and apparently, not so good news. That is Abdul Gilbert, the recently injured player who gets carried out to the sideline. And so right now, it is 3rd down and long for the Gladiators. With 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Here's the snap. He's getting pressured and he's running with it. Throws the pass. And he completes it near the 30-yard line on the play. That is caught by number 27, Malik Gilbert, who is the intended receiver, but not even enough for a first down. So that'll bring up 4th down for the Gladiators. And so the Gladiators are going to punt after a 3 and out. And after a few false start penalties, here's the snap and the kick. Nice line drive kick across the 40, and it is caught by the punt returner. He's still on his feet, and he gets across midfield down to about the 49-yard line. That is number 1, Keandre Polanco on the kickoff return for the Islanders. And it looks like he's probably shaken a little bit, but he seems to be okay. So with the ball in midfield, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Islanders, with 8:53 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. .53 left here in the 3rd quarter, and the Utah Islanders will start with the ball inside Gladiators territory at the 49. Once again, Marion Jackson at quarterback takes the shotgun and he hands it off to the running back, number 27, runs up the middle, gets across the 35 to about the 33-yard line. That is Amini Amoni. A gain of 18 on the play, and that brings up 1st and 10 for the Islanders. So the ball spotted at the 33-yard line. Okay, next offensive possession, 2 receivers on the left and 1 on the right from outside the pocket. After the shotgun formation, here's a snap. Once again, he hands it off to Amini Amoni, the ball carrier, who gets across the 30. It gets brought down at about the 27-yard line on the play for a gain of 5. And that is Jacob Fenning, number 98, who made the tackle for the Gladiators. So it is 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. 7.5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And it's still a 10-7, Utah taking advantage of the game. Okay, once again, 2 receivers outside of the pocket, and here's a snap, and apparently he's keeping the ball, and the penalty flag is down, and it's behind the line of scrimmage. Marion Jackson on the keeper, who runs out of bounds near the red zone, but there is a flag on the play that is a few yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd down and 14 yards to go for the Islanders, with the ball spotted at the 37. And the clock winds down to about 7 minutes. Okay, so we got 3 receivers on the right, 1 to the left, and 1 running back in the backfield. And once again, a shotgun formation. While the Gladiators are doing a 4-3 defense. Here's the snap. Jackson looking, feeling pressured, and he's still on his feet, almost getting sacked. Still runs with the ball though. And he finally gets caught outside the 40-yard line. That is number 33 for the Gladiators, Aiden Villarreal, the linebacker who made the sack for a loss of 2. So that'll bring up third down for the Islanders. So the ball's spotted at about the 40-yard line. And we are under 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. Okay, here's the snap. Goes a pass to his running back, number 25, who completes the pass, breaks a few tackles, but having broken a few more there. And once again, that is number 33, Aiden Villarreal, who made the defense. A no gain on the play. It was caught by Darian Summers. For a loss, and that brings up fourth down. And we are under 5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Still a 10-7 ball game, Utah leading. And it sounds like the Islanders are going to punt. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. Fair catch signal is made, and a fair catch is made with no interference whatsoever. That is number 5, Damari Ross, who made the fair catch from inside the 10-yard line, and the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators will begin their next drive from there. 4:29 here in the third quarter. It is still 10-7 in favor of the Utah Islanders. So they will start the ball from the 7-yard line. So we got 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, and 1 running back in the backfield. Once again, Jalen Staley at quarterback for the Gladiators. Got 1 player in motion as well. And he hands it off to Trey Workman, number 4, who runs up the middle and gets brought down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play. That was number 5, Alex Cardona, who made the tackle for Utah. And that brings up 2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line with 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Once again, Jaden Staley at quarterback out of the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Makes the handoff. He keeps it by himself, and he's got some running room. He runs out of the red zone, crosses the 30, and he steps out of bounds, probably near the 35-yard line. So not a bad game there for Jaden Staley, who is on the quarterback keeper to keep the drive alive, and that brings the Gladiators another first down. So after a 21-yard gain on the play, here we go. 2 receivers on each side. Here's the snap. And he gets sacked. Number 3 for the Islanders, Etano Foster, who made the sack. And that's probably a loss of 10 on the play. Jaden Staley got pressured real easily on that play. And that brings up 2nd down with under 3 minutes left to go. Here we go, 2nd and 18 with 3 receivers on the right side of the field. And we got another running back, Trey Workman, number 4, who gets brought down for a loss. That was George Phillip, number 0, the defensive lineman, who gets brought down on the defense for the Islanders. And right now we're under 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Still a 10-7 score in favor of the Islanders. And right now that brings up 3rd down and 20 with the ball spotted at the 21-yard line. Okay, once again, Jaden Saley at quarterback, standing in the shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the right, 1 on the left. Here's the snap. And he throws a pass, a play-action pass, and it is intercepted. That is 3 interceptions that's been picked by the Islanders by number 10, Darius Strickland. So between the 30 and the 35-yard line, the Islanders will start from there with a minute 22 here in the third quarter. So it appears to be that there's about 5 or 6 turnovers that the Gladiators have committed here in this ball game. Okay, right now the Islanders is back on offense from about the 37-yard line. Once again, Amarian Jackson at quarterback. Here's the snap. He hands it over to number 1, the ball carrier, Keandre Polanco, who breaks a tackle, gets into the red zone, and gets brought down between the 10 and the 15-yard line. And on the defense, that is number 45, Arnie Arabello, who made the tackle. Good gain for the Islanders, who gets into the red zone, and they get a first down with under a minute left. And we are 40 seconds remaining to the end of this quarter. There you go. Once again, out of the shotgun, there's a snap. Once again, he hands the ball over to Keandre Polanco, who gets stopped near the 10-yard line on that run. And on the defense, Andre Jones, number 21, who made the tackle for the Gladiators. So it is now 2nd down with the ball spotted at the 12-yard line. So it's 2nd and 7. And right now this brings the end of the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen, with the score, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 7 and the Utah Islanders 10. So, to check out the rest of the schedule here this season, 1 week from today, on October 18th, which is a Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock p.m., the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators will be traveling to St. George, Utah, to take on the St. George Eagles. Then, on October 27th, which is a Monday, at 7 o'clock, the Gladiators will be traveling to Tacoma as they take on Pacific Lutheran University. And then on the final game of the season, November 2nd, a Sunday, starting at 1 o'clock, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators take on the junior varsity version of Whitworth University. That is Sunday, November 2nd at 1 p.m. And for all you WSU Cougar fans out there, unfortunately, the Cougars are now 3-3, suffered a 24-21 loss to Ole Miss.
And Texas defeats Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry game 23-6.
So the next game the Cougars will be playing, Washington State will be traveling to Virginia, who is ranked number 19th in the nation, next Saturday, October 18th. And now we begin the start of the fourth quarter here at FRAN Stadium. Here's a snap, a high snap. And we got a fumble on the play down to the 20-yard line. And who's got it? It appears to be that the Gladiators has recovered the fumble at the 20-yard line. More whistles have been blown. and it appears to be the Gladiators have got it.
Trey Brent for the Gladiator recovery. 1st and 10 Gladiators.
Trey Barrett, who made the recovery for the Gladiators after the fumble with 14:56 here in the 4th quarter. So let's see if the Gladiators can capitalize after trailing by 3. And right now, they start the ball from their own 20. So we got 1 receiver to the right, 2 on the left, and 2 backs in the backfield. Here's a snap, but there's a flag on the play right before the snap. And I think the whistle's probably stopping the play before the play runs in progress. That is Trey Workman, the running back, who runs up the middle. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 15.
First and 15 for the Gladiators.
So with 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, and 1 running back in the backfield. And he hands it off to Trey Workman, who doesn't have a very much gain out of this run right here.
Second and 15.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line. And the clock runs down to 14:30 here in the 4th quarter. And for the timeouts, Pacific Northwest Christian only has 2 timeouts, while Utah has 3. Because Pacific Northwest Christian took a timeout during the injury timeout. Here we go. Here we got a running back in motion. Out to pass. Completes it to number 6. Kyle Brown with the reception down at midfield. A 35-yard gain on the play. And that brings up 1st and 10 for the Gladiators.
And another Gladiator first down.
Here we go with 14 seconds here in the 4th quarter now. The question is, can the Gladiators capitalize? Okay, once again, Jaden Saley at quarterback. Out of the shotgun formation with 3 receivers on the right. Here's the snap. He hands it over to the running back, who gets no gain from there.
Steve Williams on the carry, no gain. 2nd and 10, Gladiators. The 48.
So no gain on the play. That brings up 2nd and 10 from the 48-yard line. 13-20 here in the 4th quarter of the game. So we got 2 receivers on each side, and once again a shotgun formation. Here's a snap. Saley out to pass. Incomplete. And my guess is it's probably intended for number 34, Thagan Williams, who is the intended receiver, or possibly Colton Severa, the tight end, number 18. But we don't know which is which on what the ball is throwing directly into. And that brings up 3rd down. Okay, once again, we got 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, and 1 running back in the backfield. And once again, a shotgun formation. And it looks like a blitz is coming. And down goes Jaden Saley, who gets brought down at the 37-yard line. And that was number 40, Inyasi Matina, who made the defense for the Islanders. And that brings up 4th down for the Gladiators. And we got 13 minutes remaining here in this ball game. Here's the snap. Punt is up. And it crosses the 35 to about the 37-yard line, and the ball will stop from there. And the Islanders will start the ball from their own 37. We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go away.
The Islanders lead the Gladiators 10-7.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, 12:51 here in the fourth quarter. Utah leads Pacific Northwest Christian 10-7. A lot of turnovers going on regardless here in this ball game. The Gladiators had 6 while the Islanders had 2. And the ball carrier, Keandre Polanco, carries the ball for the Islanders. And he gets stopped at the 35-yard line for a loss of 2, I believe.
Second down and 13.
So it's second down 13 yards to go, and we have an injury timeout. And I think that's one of the Gladiators that has suffered an injury down at the 35-yard line. That is number 95, Tyler Lynch, who is feeling some pain at this point. Fans, during this injury timeout, we're going to take a short break. Once again, we'll be back in a moment. Xavier Hurix with the tackle. And that's a gain of 1. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Islanders. 10:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Second and 9 from the 27-yard line. Here's the snap. He hands it over to the running back, number 25, Darian Summers, who gains a few yards on the play, and Jacob Fennig, number 98, who made the tackle for the Gladiators. So from the 21-yard line, and that's a gain of 8 yards on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 1 for the Islanders. So a big third down now for the Gladiators, and they have a chance to stop them from scoring. Okay. So we got two receivers, one on each side. Here's the snap, hands it over to the running back. And the Gladiators are pushing him down. That is Landon Figueroa, the ball carrier, who gets brought down for no gain on the play. Excuse me, that is number 27, Amini Amoni, who is shaken up here, and we have an official's timeout. So with that being said, during the timeout in progress, so we're gonna take a short break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, after an injury timeout. That was number 27, Amini Amoni, the running back for the Islanders. Seems to be walking okay, and now he gets onto the sideline. And right now we got number 5, Alex Cardona of the Islanders, that is now starting a running back. So right now it is 4th and 1 for the Islanders. And let's see who gets to emerge on this 4th down play with 9 minutes left to go. Here's the snap. He hands it off to number 5. And he gets brought down for a loss. That was number 93, Dom Powell, who runs up the middle and brings him down for a loss of 1, and the ball will be turned over on downs. And once again, let's see if the Gladiators, to see if they can capitalize on this drive with 8:53 here in the 4th quarter, and still a 10-7 Utah lead. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line to see if Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators has enough energy left in them. Here's a snap, and he keeps it by himself and goes nowhere, and he gets brought down at the 15-yard line for a loss of 7. And that was number 0, George Phillip, the defensive lineman, who made the stop. So from the 15-yard line, that brings up 2nd down, and about 17 yards to go for the Gladiators. We got 3 receivers from the left, 1 receiver on the right, and 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. He passes it over to the running back, who runs a little in motion. And once again, a loss on the play, though. That is number 34, Thayan Williams, who made the reception. And he's brought down for a loss, down to about the 13-yard line, and that brings up 3rd down for the Gladiators. And we are 7 minutes and 45 seconds here in the 4th quarter, and still a 3-point deficit in favor of the Utah Islanders. Okay, on this next formation of play, we got 2 receivers on the right, 2 on the left, and 1 back in the backfield. And we're not too sure if the Islanders are going to blitz or go for a pass rush. And we have a timeout called by the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators. Fans, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. "7-14 here in the fourth quarter, a 10-7 Utah lead. It is now 3rd and 18 for the Gladiators. Once again, Jaden Saley out at quarterback, out of the shotgun formation. Okay, one receiver in short motion. And he was being pressured, about to go for a keeper, but instead he gets brought down for no gain on the play. And that brings up 4th down for the Gladiators. 7 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Apparently the Gladiators are going to have to punt. And we have one returner that is right behind midfield. Here's the snap and the kick. And gets stopped at about the 39-yard line after a 37-yard punt, and the Utah Islanders will go from there. 6:21 here in the fourth quarter. Once again, the Islanders leads the Gladiators 10-7. And here come the Islanders from the Gladiator 39-yard line. Here's a snap out of the shotgun formation. Makes a pump fake, then he throws it deep. And it's intercepted! Number 28 with a pick. It gets brought down to the 20-yard line. That is Rob Jalima. However, there is a flag on the play, and that is behind the line of scrimmage. We will check the penalty. So a 15-yard penalty. That's going to be near the red zone on the next play for the Islanders. So it'll be at the 24-yard line after a 15-yard penalty for roughing the passer. 6 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Okay, we got 3 receivers on the right, 3 receivers on the left, and then he hands it off to the running back, who runs to the side, and that is Keandre Polanco, the running back, who made the carry and gets into the red zone. That was number 98, Jacob Bennett, who made the stop of the Gladiators. And the ball is placed inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. So that is a gain of 6 on the play. So second down and 4 from the 19-yard line. So we got 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right, and 1 back in the backfield. Here's a snap. He hands it off to Keandre Polanco, the ball carrier, who spins around twice. And he gets brought down between the 10 to the 15-yard line. That was number 21, Andre Jones, for the Gladiators, who made the tackle. And after a gain of 6 yards on the play, it is now first down for the Islanders. So from the 12-yard line with under 5 minutes left to go. Okay, once again, number 15, Amarian Jackson, the quarterback, out of the shotgun formation with 1 back in the backfield. And he hands it off. Hands it off to Amini Amoni, who is back on the field. He runs up the middle and gets across the 10-yard line. So a 7-yard gain on the play, and that brings up 2nd and 3. And we only got 4 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. So 2nd and 5 now. And we got 2 receivers from each side and 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Out to pass. And it's incomplete. It is intended for Dandre Randolph, number 2, the intended receiver. And that brings up 3rd down for the Islanders. .344 here in the 4th quarter, and it's still a 10-7 Utah lead. Right now the Islanders are still inside the red zone from the 8-yard line. Okay, once again, 2 receivers from each side. Here's a snap, out to pass, and it is caught. Touchdown, Utah Islanders. That was caught by number 14, Tema Ita, from quarterback Amarian Jackson. An 8-yard pass, and Utah now has 6 points, added up to 16 with 3:40 remaining. And right now, Taylor Anderson, number 47, the kicker, getting ready to kick the extra point. Here's the snap. Here's the kick up the middle. And the extra point is good. And with 3 minutes and 40 seconds here in the 4th quarter, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 7, the Utah Islanders 17. We're going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go away. We'll be back. .340 left here in the 4th quarter, and the Utah Islanders have a 10-point lead. Taylor Anderson, number 47, will be kicking it off. And it bounces off number 10's foot, and he picks it up. And he gets a kickoff return. That is Omar Zepeda. Gets brought down at about the 33-yard line after a 10-yard kickoff return. So the Gladiators will start from there with 3:34 here in the fourth quarter.
First down and 10 Gladiators. From the 34-yard line with 3:34 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Right now, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators is trying to keep the drive alive, even though they have 2 wins and 3 losses overall this season. Okay, right now we got 2 receivers from each side and 1 back in the backfield. And it appears to be that the Islanders are in a blitzing formation. He throws it, and it's incomplete. Intended for number 27, Malik Gilbert, the intended receiver. And it appears to be that Jaden Saley is feeling a little banged up after being pressured and tries to throw outside like a play action pass, but it's incomplete. Now it's second down with 3:27. And we have an official's timeout. We have an injury timeout, and it looks like Jaden Saley is banged up, apparently. Second and 10 from the 34 with 3 minutes and 27 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And good thing we brought a newly acclaimed fresh quarterback coming into the field. Okay, so with 3 receivers on the left, here's a snap. Out to pass. And it is incomplete. Intended for number 14, Tajay Taylor, the intended receiver, and that is number 7, Isaiah Giles, the quarterback from Medical Lake, Washington. And that'll bring up third down for the Gladiators. Right now, Isaiah Giles at quarterback. Out of the shotgun formation with 2 receivers on each side and 1 back here in the backfield. Here's the snap. Giles looking, throws it. And it is incomplete. Tajay Taylor, the intended receiver, drops the pass on the play. Looks like we may have a penalty, but maybe not. So there is no penalty on that play. Right now it is 3rd and 10 with the ball at the 34-yard line. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in this ball game. Okay, we got 1 receiver from each wide side and 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Giles out to pass. He's looking. He's under pressure. And he gets brought down for a loss of 1 on the play. That was number 95, Jesse Martinez, who made the 4th down. And the ball will be turned over on downs. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Utah Islanders with 3:11 left here in the fourth quarter. Once again, number 15, Marion Jackson at quarterback. 2 receivers on each side and 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Play action pass. Completes it to the running back. And he gets brought down to the 25-yard line. And that is number 25, Darian Summers, with the reception on the play. And that's probably a gain of 6. So the ball will be placed at the 27-yard line. So that's a gain of 7 yards on the play. It is 2nd down and 3 yards to go. 2:40 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Okay, once again a shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Once again he passes it to the running back from the backfield. Gets across the 25 down to about the 23-yard line. And that is Darian Summers once again with the reception from quarterback Marion Jackson. And that's probably good enough for the 1st down to the 23-yard line after a gain of 5 on the play. And this winds down to the 2-minute warning, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, we're going to have to take a break during the 2-minute warning. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're back after the 2-minute warning, and here's number 25, the ball carrier, Darian Summers, who gets inside the red zone, and that's probably another 1st down for the Islanders, and now they're in a no-huddle zone. So the ball will be placed at the 10-yard line. Here's a snap, out to pass, completes it to number 8, who breaks a tackle, and is he in the end zone or is he short? That is number 8, Giovanni Polanco, who gets in the end zone for the touchdown after a 10-yard gain from quarterback Marion Jackson. That is number 8, Giovanni Polanco, who broke the plane across the goal line and hits the pylon, and that is why the Utah Islanders get another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. Okay, once again, Taylor Anderson, the kicker, misses the snap, and the holder is picking up the ball, and where's he looking to? He's going to throw a pass to make it a 2-point conversion. He completes it, and the conversion has failed after a bad snap, and the kick didn't happen. So with 1:28 here in the 4th quarter, with the score, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 7 and the Utah Islanders 23. And we got an injury timeout. We have an injured player down at the 10-yard line. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in a moment. here in this ball game. Out to snap. And once again, that is number 31, Robert Knight, the ball carrier, who gets brought down for a loss. And on the defense, that is number 57 for the Islanders, Zephaniah Hoko. That brings up 3rd and 11 with under 30 seconds left to go here in the ball game. So we got one receiver from each side, from outside the pocket, and one back in the backfield. Out of the shotgun formation with 7 linemen up front. And that is the end of the 4th quarter. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators are 2-4 right now. And with the final score, the Utah Islanders 23, the Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators 7. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, next Saturday, the Gladiators will be traveling to St. George, Utah to take on the Eagles. Then the following Monday at 7 o'clock, the Gladiators travel to Pacific Lutheran University in Tacoma. And on November 2nd, they will be traveling to Spokane to take on the junior varsity version of Whitworth University. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for watching this live stream YouTube program of Pacific Northwest Christian Gladiators football. This is Evan Burton, your color commentator for this live stream broadcast, saying thank you very much and have a safe and pleasant evening.